once again here to this morning, very blessed morning indeed. Trust you are getting on well wherever you have been watching us from. This is Corwave TV, and I remain Figures indeed with the host anchor, bringing you, of course, undiluted and unbiased reportage of events as they continue, of course, to unfold here. Keeping it real has been our commitment and our passion. Yes, and today we are going to discuss issues bordering on insecurity, the lies, the sabotage, and the deceptions. Of course, rocking the entire country and the entire regions of this country. We've had so many reports and so many deceptions, and it is high time we begin to set, of course, things right and ask very pertinent questions. So, why did insecurity remains persistent? Why is it that the military and the security operatives could not need this at board? Why is it that the escalation of insecurity have threatened the entire region, not just a particular region? Here with me is comrades Dan Michael. You are most welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
How was the night?
Very well, thank you.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you this morning. We are to discuss about the height of insecurity, of course, especially to the life and property of the Nigerian citizens, which forms the primary responsibility of any responsible government. Why is it that insecurity seems, of course, to be having a sway of the entire region?
Thank you. I think for me, government the last couple of years has not really given it what it takes to combat insecurity in our country. I believe that there is a lot of mold within the system that sabotaging even some of the little efforts that we are seeing. And that is why it has lingered for years now, especially in the northern part of the country, where banditry and activities of herdsmen has become the order of the day. So I believe government is still not ready to give it what it takes. I also understand that in terms of manpower, the manpower is not adequate from what we have seen. The northern part of the country has a large expanse of land that require a greater number of officers to cover. That is why you observe that even where we have a situation where the nearest base is called upon to intervene, it may take an hour or two for such people to even get to the crime scene. So basically, it's a mix of issues that our government is yet to sort out.
Like you said, the government is not giving it what it takes. What really does it take, apart from, of course, doling out billions to procure ammunition and retrain the militaries and the security operatives? What exactly do you mean by they are not giving it what it takes?
Much as I wouldn't want to sound like a security expert, I'm not one, but basically some things must be on ground for us to have a secured nation. Some years ago, the immigration gave us a report that we have over 1,000 unmanned entry and exit points into this country. That alone is alarming.
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000. I mean, official reports now. That alone is a disaster in waiting. Even the manned ones, the ones where officials of immigration are, can be compromised. Let alone the unmanned ones. And I think that is where to start from. How do you have points where people can come into your country and get out of your country
at will? And you call it a country, a secured sovereignty.
You can report that as an agency of government that has been saddled with that responsibility. So That is where to start from. We must know who is coming in and who is going out. That is the beginning of security. These are not rocket science. Biometrics of people must be centrally collated. You can pin down people within few minutes when a crime is committed, because
Even when you can't man the borders, what you know what it means having a 1,000 over 1,000 borders that is not manned entry point. I mean, we are living at the mercy of the Almighty. Honestly,
you can't overemphasize that. That is the truth. It is just by mercy that we are being protected. In terms of what government should be doing, I think they've not live up to expectation.
I don't think if the government is living up to realities by accepting those flaws. Yesterday, over 6 persons, according to the report, was killed by terrorists. They said it's terrorists that overrun certain communities in Kaduna State. And as if that was not enough, in Niger State, communities were sacked and villagers fled for their lives. In the same Nigeria where the government claimed to have control of the sovereignty of the state.
More worrisome is the issue you just referred to in southern Kaduna yesterday in Zango, Qatar, to be precise. That was where that ugly incident took place, and this have become the norm in that environment, in that corridor. We've been having countless. It has become countless now. Countless number of attacks
On
from
the
time to
supposed
time
citizens.
within that environment, within that southern Kaduna that we are dealing with now, and yet government seems to be helpless over that situation, and lives are being lost each time we have such attacks. I think it is unacceptable for any government, just as you have referred to in your introduction, that the security of lives and property shall be the primary responsibility of government, and there is no true way to that. Any government that cannot secure its people has no business being in government. There's no excuse to such lapses, especially when it happens time and again.
When it happens time and again, there is no excuse, there is no any justifiable reasons why the government or any said government could not, of course, guarantee the safety of life and property of our supposed citizens. This is not just an alliance, but your supposed citizens. And of course, the government is telling us, or the military chiefs, that they have been able to decimate ESN and IPOB camps. You see, what an irony. Why in the north, the terrorists, supposed terrorists and bandits are having a free day, but they are after people who are supposedly, of course, calling for self-determination, not just that they have any crime against humanity. What is your take on this?
I think part of what government should be doing is to ensure that there is peace and order in every part of our country, whether in the north, in the east, or in the west. So don't forget, we have also been having disturbing situation in the southeast. Recently, a team of security agencies were attacked in one of the states, and a lot of people died or killed in that incident, and that was not the first case. And I think that is part of what the government is equally responding to in the report you just gave, in terms of trying to take out some of the ESN or IPOB that's alleged to be responsible for the disturbance that we have in the southeast. So, in any part of the country where insurgency springs up, it is the responsibility of government to respond. And so, but what we are not comfortable with is when it becomes sectional, just as we have referred to, when we are seeing response in the north, just the way we are seeing it in the east or any part of the country at that, where insecurity comes up, then government is seen to be alive to our responsibility. And I think that is with my position on that.
Okay, before we proceed in few minutes, my shout out to Professor Chief J.O. Okwade. Good morning to everyone watching from. Okay, he's watching live from Sydney, Australia. Good morning, Prof, and everyone joining us this morning in today's political rumbles, where we keep it rolling. Of course, the truth and the unbiased reportage of events. I trust you're getting on well wherever you might be watching us from this morning. Now, the approach of the government matters, and the sincerity and commitment of the same government. You see, you don't have to be, place some sentiment in terms of securing your support citizens. And what we are seeing today, what can you tell about the sincerity and the position of the government in fighting or combating terrorism?
I think governments, irrespective of the time now, government, I mean, both present and past, must have the will to get the job done. And I think the political will has been missing over the years. Don't forget, there was a time, I think it was the chief of army staff that came from the east, Jirika, if I still recollect the name, that was really launching a very serious onslaught on insurgents, Boko Haram, and all of that in the north. Then the feedback we got during that time was that it was killing northerners.
Yeah, from the northern elders.
From the northern elders, and when comments like this begin to come in while insurgency is being tackled, then it becomes more disturbing. Criminality should be given what it is, irrespective of where it's coming from. So when it becomes no, it is because it's from this part of the country or that part of the country, then we are not ready. The political will to get the job done, I think that has remained the missing link, and that was why I said when government is actually ready to stem this tide, they know exactly what to do.
They know exactly what to do,
and I think they do.
But failing to do that have brought us where we are, and the sincerity of this government to fight this insurgency is something that is questionable. We thought by the shuffling of the service chief, they would have deployed other more tactical approach to this. But making reference to the East, there have been a time the Eastern people or the Biafran agitators were mainly using placards and demonstrating on the street. They were killed and murdered by the security operations, but now some group of agitators have decided to take up arms and are bent at, of course, not holding anything back in ensuring that their own voice have been heard and their demands have been met, regardless of whosoever might have any different contradictions in terms of opinion they commonly share among themselves. Now, do you think that now they have resorted to armed struggle as a way of restoring the sovereignty of the Biafran state, having lost hope and confidence in the Nigerian system? Do you think that any attempt by the Nigerian government could, of course, hamper them or frustrate them from doing such?
I think it is unfortunate that we got to that point where people will take up arms in agitating for their rights. to sovereignty and all of that. It could have been better if it is done without arms, if all the procedures that could lead to secession is maybe diplomatically followed and all of that. But just as you said, uh, at the moment, some of the agitators have already picked up arms against the government, and which is not good enough for our nation. So the feeling of government to such agitation, I may not be able to speak for government in terms of what they had in mind. Don't forget, this administration just came on board over 100 days in office now.
Isn't that enough? 100 days is in a lifetime, in someone's lifetime. 100 days should not be something you should not, I mean, recognize. 100 days is enough to alter whatever you want to alter or to set a direction.
I am actually saying that the approach of this particular government hasn't been known when it comes to some of the agitation that is going on in the southeast. Don't forget, Mazin Namdekano is still in custody. There have been calls for him to be released unconditionally and all of that. So, but I don't know if there are. I wouldn't know if there are underground moves to make that happen. But officially, government has not taken a position in terms of that. So that was what I mean when I said we have not really understand the direction of this particular government, the approach. We knew how Muhammad Buhari handled the agitation of Southeast. His approach was confrontational, crush them approach. That was what he used all through his 8 years. So I wouldn't know what the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has in store for the agitation that is going on in the southeast.
Now, from the pages of newspaper, we learned that they have invaded, of course, the camps of the ESN and IPOBs, and have decimated some members of this group. So it's the same approach, and most communities have been raided, and most shops and offices have been brought down or destroyed by the aggrieved security operatives as a way of avenging for the supposed death of their colleagues, which unfortunately the innocent citizens are not responsible for such. And government should be held responsible for whatever loss are incurred. And away from that, there are most shocking revelations coming on board regarding the certificate saga of the sitting president Tinubu, as regards to the Chicago inquest. So, what do you expect from that? Should you expect anything different? The legal counsel said, release the certificate, but don't release my transcript, don't release my gender. I mean, somebody who's claimed to have scored to have graduated with this distinction shouldn't be afraid of releasing his transcript and gender as a matter of public interest.
Well, I believe the issue will be resolved pretty soon. It has lingered for some time, and I don't think it is held in enough for even the image of the president. My view has always been that there shouldn't be anything hidden about the academic records of president of any nation at that. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has insisted on following through that path to get the details of the president's academic record. So if the courts eventually grant him, I think the entire picture will be more clearer. But for now, we are still in the realm of speculation in terms of knowing the details that his academic records contains. And I think that's where we are at the moment.
Okay, thank you so much, comrade, for your submissions this morning. We do appreciate. I do have a fantastic day ahead. Yes, we are here and, of course, committed to the in-depth analysis of events as they continue to unfold. Good morning, Uche Janelle. You are welcome to this.
Yes, Uche. My name is Charles. Maybe he has forgotten my name.
No, I'm greeting one of the viewers, of course, who exchanged pleasantry with us this morning.
Uche, good morning.
I trust you are doing great. Wow, thank you so much for your for your support. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes, we are here. We appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much once again, Uche Jenner, and the host of others who are watching us. Insecurity, the lies, the sabotage, and the deceptions within a country that could not man over 1,000 porous borders. How do you think that security of life and property of the supposed citizens could be guaranteed?
Once again, good morning, Chigozie. Good morning, all our viewers. The Nigerian insecurity in Nigeria has been the order of the day, and it has been a menace and a problem. It's just like a canker war that has been eating deep into the bone marrows of Nigerians. And when you look at what is going on in Nigeria, insecurity has taken order of the day. Last time I told you that I remember Southern Kaduna, people were killed on a daily basis. I remember I once told you on this channel.
Even yesterday, not just last time. Yesterday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie.
Some said it's more than scores of people were killed. On the pages of this paper, they said about 6 or more.
Well, I have said it on time without number. My own parents were also the victims of that Kaduna crisis some years back. Today, we don't have mother, we don't have father, simply because of the crisis that happens in Southern Kaduna too some years back. So I sympathize with those people that have lost both the beloved ones. A lot of individuals have been rendered fatherless, motherless, and childless. You see, Nigeria is no more safe, and we keep on saying it on a daily basis. And look at what happened in Benue State a few days ago. A whole commissioner was kidnapped, and until today, his whereabouts is unknown to almost all the state governments. You see, if the whole commissioner could be kidnapped, what happened to an average Nigerian that walks on the streets? So there's a very big problem. Insecurity is a challenge. Security challenge is the problem of this country. So I think, and I dare the government of this land that call themselves the reigning APC superintendents or whoever they call themselves, they should sit well and fact that insecurity is no more what they should just fold their arms and start watching people, because a lot of Nigerians are dying on a daily basis. If almost all these bandits or these Boko Haram people decide to kill almost everybody, who is going to come out the next election to vote for you? So you see, that is a problem we are having. So insecurity is a problem in this country. Nigerians are suffering. So I cannot even advise anybody to come into Nigeria just simply because you want to invest in Nigeria. You want to invest your money in Nigeria in an unstable environment, an unstable country, in an unstable country, nation, that the instability in terms of security is not even stable.
I hope by that you are not demarketing your supposed country. Well, the realities cannot be denied. Of course, Kayode Adawa, welcome. He said, rest in peace, Nigeria. But Nigeria is about to celebrate the 63rd independence. Comes at the 1st of October. But still, of course, grappling with these realities confronting them, which the major cause is insecurity, destabilizing the entire economy. People are dying as if they are not humans. And yet, the lies on the part of the security operatives seems not to be of course, going down well with the masses. You tell us you are always in control. You have the jets, you have the surveillance, you have the military, the navies, and yet we still have more than 1,000 unmanned, of course, porous borders. If you have to divide 1,000 by 37, meaning 36 states of the federation, and including Abuja, which is 37, you'll be having roughly 27 unmanned borders across the entire states. I know that what that means. What is Nigeria waiting for to begin to live in the reality of our time? What is the government waiting for? Even in Niger State, so many communities have been sacked. They fled for their life, and the bandits or terrorists have, of course, established their own camps within the Nigerian territory. And the government or security operators telling us they have bombarded the ESN, the IPOB camps. What do you have to say?
Chigozendigo, let's not dwell on this insecurity of a thing. We know that the government of Nigeria, what they are after is whatever comes to their pocket, and whatever that is important to them is how to siphon public funds and keep for their unborn kids to come. Insecurity in Nigeria has been the most important problem we are having in this country. You know, you're talking about a lot of the fighting jet and other things. Even if you decide to bring a fighting jet into this country, it's not about bringing a fighting jet, but for how long will you be able to sustain that fighting jet in Nigeria? Nigeria is a country where Nigeria is our country, but it's a country whereby you see that they will bring in something just at the first starts, but at the end of the day, what will happen? They will look at it as if to sustain continuity is what does not matter to Nigerians. Most of these people, I call them business politicians. Mostly with our business politicians. So insecurity has been a problem. Look at the place like Plateau State. A lot of individuals have flew down from their community to another place. A place like Maza. I happen to school there. A place, a place like if you go to Niger State, there's a place we call Bida. A lot of people, if you go to a place we call Metumbi, Mobi, all these places, a lot of individuals have flew down from their community to another man's community simply because of the fear of unknown. Go to Benue, it's not an exception. Go to Benue, a lot of people have left Benue. That is why you keep on seeing that the population keep on increasing in different towns, because a lot of people can no longer stay in their community because of insecurity. Look at what happened in Boko. You see, Boko happens to be one of the highest, one of the highest and the largest, market where you see marketers in terms of yam, selling of yams and other things. But insecurity have taken the order of the day in Boko, Potosco, and other places in Benue State. Now, what are we saying? The government should have known that one of the agenda as a government or as somebody that is coming into power or regime should have been, or manifestos that you're trying to give people before you ascend office should have been what? This is, I want to fight insecurity in Nigeria, or these are things that I need to put in place. But they are not doing it because you and I, they look at us as we are nothing but an animal to them. But I believe anything you are doing, just remember that one thing you do in life, the most important thing you should be asking yourself is that tomorrow, two things that posterity will live to remember you for good, but they are not. What they are after is their own selfish interest.
Just let's take it this way. I can't imagine United States where hundreds of our citizens are being killed or adopted, and yet the United States government will keep watching while the adopters still remain within their own territory. I don't imagine the UK or Britain where our supposed citizens are being kidnapped within their own supposed territory. I don't imagine, of course, even Ghana here, where their supposed citizens have been kidnapped, tortured, humiliated within their territory, and their doctors are still going free without being confronted. And the unfortunate thing is that most of these terrorists, after they struck communities, they will also flee without being checked, without being apprehended to their safe havens. Now, what do you think will be done to secure the lives of Nigerian citizens.
Well, the government knows what to put in place in order to fight insecurity in Nigeria.
Perhaps they don't know what they think
My
should be
brother,
done.
they know what to do. It shows that they are looking at it as if it's not a business to them. Okay, you are here. We are in the same country whereby we find out that bandits are there, Boko Haram people are there, but the same government of the day are there trying to negotiate with the bandit. And you tell me that they don't know. They know
In
what
Zamfara.
to put. Look at what is happening in Zamfara. The whole federal government decided that they want to go into negotiation.
Yes, with the bandits,
Without the concept of the number one citizen of that particular
the state governor, but the federal government denied that.
Yeah, they have to deny that because they have seen that it was a wrong move, and a lot of them, when you look at what happened, a lot of them knows where most of these bandits, most of them are the ones sponsoring most of these bandits people. So what are you saying? They know what to do. It's so that doing it to them is as if they are betraying whatever oath they have taken to their own brotherhood. I don't know. So they know what to do. It's not that they don't know. They know. Forget about it.
Now, the shocking news are still coming regarding the Chicago's revelation about the certificate of the sitting president of Nigeria. Do you think that will cause more damage if established to the contrary?
My brother, we are tired. I'm tired with the so-called Chicago issue of the thing. And the problem we are having in this country is APC. APC, everything about APC has been a controversial political party in Nigeria. Buhari came into power, there was a controversy over the certificate and where he comes from. Tinubu came into power, there was a controversy over where he comes from. Is he from Osun or Lagos State or where? Now, there was a controversy about his certificate. Now, see, my brother, the government of APC has been. I'm not trying to support any political party here, but the government of APC has failed Nigeria totally. So, but asking you or telling yourself that you need to go and start fighting professional to the most important aspect of whatever you want to say or you want to do, such as what you want to go and find out whether the certificate is real or not. My brother, to me, Atiku, you are entitled to your opinion because this is one of your civil rights, and the Atiku is only doing what, doing whatever he's doing under the advisory, under the supervision, or under the advisory of what, the legal team. He did not just go there to demand for those certificates. His legal teams are the one that advise him to go to that particular place. But the problem we are having, is the judiciary of the thing is taking so long. Atiku, if I'm advising, if I were to advise him, let him forget about anything about that, because most of these people, whether you go there or you did not go there, the man have just brought them off. You said that they should release your certificate and you shouldn't release your sex or gender. Where on earth can you I schooled in ABU's area, and if you happen to go to Amoni University area, my gender being sex, you find that I am a male child. Now, it's somebody that said that they should release the result without the sex or gender. It means as a cockroach hiding in his cupboard. So Tinubu should have come out as long as you have said to us, you have the mind and the courage, to have said to the masses that you schooled in Chicago. Tinubu should as well have the right to allow us to verify his certificate. For you to have the confidence and the mind to tell the whole nation that you schooled in Chicago, you should as well have the mind and the courage to allow us to go in and verify your certificate. So it's not a big deal. But
will you have any contradiction if somebody should require for your transcript?
I will definitely bring it here tomorrow. If it requires my transcript, I will bring it here for you tomorrow. For you to know that this is actually where I schooled. Are you getting me? So there's no need hiding. Why should I hide look at somebody like the late Mubarak that just died. One of the principal, the way he schooled in Ikorodu, one of the private secondary school here, colleges where he schooled here at Ikorodu, the man have to publish the young guy certificate. NECO. These are how to do things. Why should you be hiding something? If if anybody demands for your certificate, definitely one has every right. You can bring it out. Are you getting me? But in a situation whereby you think that I did not, I can only hide my certificate when I know that I did not school in that particular place, and when there is anything or something that I'm hiding, it's as simple as ABCD.
As simple as APC. On the final note, you just mentioned Mobad. I saw some revelations that Mobad started as a choir or a chorister in one of the churches, but ended up in Malia. So, what lesson can we draw from that?
You don't. I don't think to cut it short. Even the best musicians in the world started as choir members. Even ranging from Chris Brown and co. A lot of them from most of these European countries or most of this Western world. Chris Brown, R. Kelly, so many of them they started as a choir member. So Mobile shouldn't have been an exception to whatever that is happening. A lot of them started like that. At the end of the day, what really happened? They came in, they went into secular music, and they're thinking that God cannot make you whoever you want to be in life. They decided to join one brotherhood or the other. At the end of the day, so Mobile being a choir member is none of my business. It has been a routine to most of these musicians to have started from choir, but at the end of the day, they end up becoming one of the worst, what I may call a bad example to the youth entirely. So, but I am very, very much happy that a lot of them started from the church as a choir member. But at the end of the day, what happened? They will just escalate themselves into becoming one of the worst things we have not seen in life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There are much lessons to learn. Probably Mobad wanting to pull out from the Mamlian group was stopped. So though he got the fame, he got the money, and unfortunately has to lose his life in such a tender age. Well, it's not unfortunate, and but then there are lessons to learn, moral lessons, so to say. Yeah, Mr.
How you doing, my friend?
Good morning,
Morning.
Mr. Nee.
Yeah,
Good to have you here at today's political rumbles.
thank you for having me.
The insecurity is quite alarming. Nigerian citizens losing their lives as if life no longer matters in this country. Well, we have a sitting president who measures as the president and the commander of the armed forces. Yesterday in Kaduna was a bloody experience. First, in Niger State, many communities were sacked, villagers fleeing for their lives to unknown destination within the Nigerian territory. Why is it that the governments have not been able to live, of course, up to our responsibility, which is the primary responsibility of protecting life and property of the supposed citizens?
Thank you for having me, Mr. Christian. To all our teaming viewers, I greet you all. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Well, Madam Abel.
This is what? This is life. You are blocking this.
All right. So you see, the unfortunate incident of insecurity that has bedeviled this nation is it's gotten to the. I mean, I think it has gotten to the explosive point whereby the GCFR has to declare a fight against war right now. Until we declare these people as terrorists and not bandits, when we are able to label them what they are, and then we take every stringent actions to declare some areas of our territories as they call them military zones. We have to map out all our boundaries as military zones, whereby all farms and all that should be converted back to barracks. They should be converted to
Back to barracks.
yes, they should be converted to barracks and training grounds.
Okay.
Those farmlands should be given out to the soldiers. Let me tell you, Mr. Chigozie, until we have things like that, these people will walk in and out of our country without any form of apprehension. All these soldiers, all those vast land along our boundaries. Nigeria is so blessed with arable land whereby over 70% of our lands are arable. And we just have about 20 of it in the boundaries, especially in the corner.
Official reports from the ministry said that I think customs said that there are immigrations that are more than 1,000 unmanned borders, porous borders within Nigeria.
Now, until we look inward. Listen, the Minister of Interior unfortunately didn't get a good, job bequeathed to him. But I believe so much in the current Minister of Interior. Because when we talk about our border integrity, border mannings, of course, this is highly what related with the Minister of Interior. Because the Minister of Interior has to work with customs, immigrations, and the likes. And even the Nigerian army. Alright? All our border lines, especially the northern border lines, should be declared as a military zones. Okay, if we know we are not going to build a block wall between us and Niger, the other place should be declared a military zone. Do you know what it means to be a military zone? A civilian, you just can't go there. You just can't dabble into military zones without being called upon. So those areas, they need to be declared a military zones. The lands that are arable should be given to the soldiers as their farm. They can allot those farms to them as their own what benefits. They can allot to them, each person have 1 acre. Farm whatever. You think if a soldier owns a farm, one terrorist named bandit to come and disturb him?
Now, do you think that the Nigerian government has the manpower, of course, to execute such?
I'm telling you.
Compared to the ratio of the military to or security operative to the Nigerian masses.
Listen, the bandits have not outnumbered our soldiers.
But why is it that
They have not been deploying intelligence in the fight against these bandits.
so who should be blamed
You see, this
over
bandits,
the lies? They are not deploying intelligence while billions have been budgeted for procurement of arms.
have we not blamed Jonathan? Because it started all under Jonathan, Yar'Adua and the likes.
It didn't start. It started as far back as Obasanjo era.
I know Boko Haram started in 2002, but it wasn't as this emboldened as it were under Jonathan. They became emboldened whereby they claimed over 24 local governments under Jonathan.
No, Jonathan through Ihedidika fought them to a standstill.
He did not
But because of
in any way.
the politics
He did not
of the northern elders, they claim that because he's an Igbo man, they were just killing their own people.
Let me tell you, I don't like to hear the word an Igbo man.
But that is
Listen, I don't. Let me tell you why. Are
you aware of that?
Wait, when you keep claiming victimhood, when you keep claiming the fact that it is because Jonathan was an Igbo man, this is why I didn't do this. The question is, did he have the political will? One, did he have the courage? Two, did he have the what? Even exert his power as a GCFR.
He did, but
He did. Let me tell you, he did not. Who were the people against it?
the northern elders
The
told their weight against such move.
Christian.
That led to the removal of Ihedidika.
Christian, let me tell you something. How much did the northern senators fight against that? The elites are just normal citizens who have their voice, who are beneficiaries of whatever insurgencies. How many times have you heard elites being killed in the north?
You mean they are majorly beneficiaries of this insecurity?
No, just answer that simple question. How many times have you heard the elites or the elders that are being killed in the north? How many times?
The commissioners were kidnapped, and possibly most of them are not living
in the north.
In the
north.
They are just residing in Abuja.
Anything you hear happen
governing from
in the corner,
Abuja.
We have not heard that one northern elder was kidnapped or killed. But we heard what happened in Southeast. We heard what happened in Benue, which is what middle belt. We've heard what happened in Southwest. We even heard how they killed elites in South. But you see, in that north, those elders are solely responsible. Any president that wants to tackle that will have to what? Trample on all those elders. Because those elders, what they do is they weaponize this alimangerism. They have weaponized even this banditry against the will of the president. Until a president who has a political will, because you will know that you will offend some people. You see this foreign exchange over. Let me tell you, those who are most affected are who? Are the bureau change guys. The new CBN governor who just got confirmed will offend a lot of bureau change. And who own bureau change? The northerners, the northern elites. They will fight against the president. But he needs to have a political, because if you know where you are going, you will not, you will not stop because of the steps you are taking.
Exactly. Where we are going, if Nigeria knows where they are going, by October 1st, Nigeria will mark 63 years.
It's unfortunate.
Can you say that Nigeria really knew where they are going?
It's so unfortunate that we have been, we have been blessed with unintelligent leaders right from the past. We've had successive, leaders who have finished the better good of Nigeria. As at the early 60s and 70s, when we have the oil boom, a person like Yakubu Gowon came out and said that we have so much money, we don't know what to do with it. You know what they were doing? They started dropping crates of beer in every bus stop.
Crates of beer?
Yes. There was a drum, and that drum would be filled with beer. So as a Nigerian, because we didn't know what is money for, so you needed to drink beer. All you need to go is just go to that drum, pick one beer, and you go. Maybe if you get to Ogba, you see another one, you take it and you go. Maybe if you get to beggar. These are what our leaders put us into. They actually sold us out.
And that seems not to have changed with the political leaders we have today.
Correcting and taking away that attitude from Nigerians is not a day job. A Nigerian who has been used to being fed, even when you have grown as a mature, you are still being breastfed by your government.
How? How do you mean?
Let me tell you how.
How is the average Nigerian? Have you ever benefited anything good from this country?
Let me tell you why. In the aspect of manufacturing, innovation, science and technology, let us take a look at other developed nations. Some other countries didn't wait for their government to intervene 100% before they thrived.
It is not true. When you cite China, India,
let me tell you,
China, there was a deliberate and conscious move by the government to empower her citizens.
Let me cite the father of all. The father of all is America. Perhaps you don't know, UK stole technology from what? USA stole technology from United Kingdom. United Kingdom, the indigenous, who were innovative, who needed to advance their farming technology, came up with so many innovations. Let me tell you what we as Nigerians, this is a bitter truth, what we as Nigerians do today is, we would rather go to China, and import things. We don't look inward and say, let me go as a philanthropist, as a billionaire. How many of our billionaires have you seen going to the university and said that I want to have an innovative hub? Let me pump in 1 billion. Let me pump into. We saw this happen. Thomas Edison was what? A billionaire who was investing in inventors in America.
Those people you call billionaires, how did they become billionaires? Most of them are politicians who stole public funds.
I just mentioned one.
They don't have anything.
I just mentioned. Listen, I just mentioned
invested their time and their resources.
I just mentioned one person. I said Tony Elumelu. Most of our billionaires today came to be a millionaire either through owning oil blocks or through the financial sector. A few of them is like Dangote and the likes. How much has Dangote invested to ensure that we have domestic innovations Egbabe, follow back like this.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Am I doing it? Am I doing
Sorry, sorry. You shifted this. Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
The truth is, until we have leaders who are so particular about developing this nation. I have told you something.
Exactly.
Listen,
Now you got it.
wait. Until we have leaders, not president. Not president alone. I have told you, America. Someone like Thomas Edison invested. So this is why Thomas Edison today lay claims to General Electric. He wasn't the inventor, but he had the money. Someone like Carnegie, who owns American Steel, which I think they can reform now. Someone like Rockefeller, they had the money. Then they started investing in their local scientists. They gave them money. The truth is, our millionaires and billionaires in Nigeria, instead of them to encourage, go to the schools, okay? Look like someone. Look at someone like Tony Elumelu. Tony Elumelu is doing a good job with his foundation, giving 5,000 as grants. But I think he needs to go further. But Tony Elumelu needs to create something like we call innovation hub.
Are you exonerating? You said I
am not exonerating the president.
He's doing his best. But what of those who are in charge of the public funds? These are not their funds.
I am not.
Why are not those using
I
it?
am not exonerating those people. But as well, I am saying that we as individuals, especially those that own money, that have money.
Forget about those that own no money.
I'm not going to forget about
What about
because
those?
they made that money from this country. Why should I forget about
Well, what about those who are in control of our public funds?
If the president fails us,
Our commonwealth.
if the president fails us,
So they should keep on investing
if
the money.
America had waited for this same mentality that we have waited, America wouldn't have gotten to where they are.
America created the enabling environment for their people to start.
Do you just
do you know? Excuse me.
do you know? No. I don't want you to say what you don't know about. Do you know how America was during the years of Rockefeller, Thomas Edison?
Of course. Every nation has their history.
Let me tell you.
Just like China yesterday.
Let me tell you what the government did as at then was giving the rich guys tax breaks. Now, our rich guys, are they enjoying tax breaks?
Of course, waivers. They're enjoying waivers.
So the truth is, the question is, our rich guys should please create innovation hubs. The government is not doing well. I'm not saying they are doing well. I am not by any means exonerating them. But our rich men, listen, if you and I will have money today, if I look at what is, let me tell you the sector that is so productive today. The entertainment sector. Who built it? We built it. Because we saw that our people have talent. The likes of Don Jazzy, the likes of Olamide and the likes.
Yes, took the advantage of the opportunity that was provided. Because at the time, Jonathan gave them some loans, grants. I'm aware of that.
You are not getting the point. Before Jonathan came on board, the likes of Kenny's music, and the likes, they invested money into that sector. They were able to attract talent. Those talents were promoted, they were pushed. Today we have the likes of Whiskey, Burna Boy, and the likes. EME awards. We have African awards. Today in Africa, our music industry is the biggest and is the most lucrative. Until our billionaires also understand that if we had waited for Jonathan to come, how did Jonathan give them? Are you telling me that the Minister of Culture and Arts and Creative Economy, as at then, didn't embezzle it? Is that what you're telling me? But today you will see that people are ready to open a studio.
Okay.
Employ a producer and say, if you know how to sing, you have talent, come and let's produce music. Until we get to that point that our rich guys
should be participating in national development.
Yeah, until they get to that point, right? They are ready to open an innovation lab, a scientist lab. Like, if you know you are good in technology innovation, they put the equipment there, they put all those machineries, people will come in. Then government, because our government has happened to fail us, so unfortunate. But in America, this is how they develop. People like Rockefeller, Thomas Edison, they didn't wait for the government all in all to come.
Now, as Nigeria stands now, we may not wait for people. What is the government doing? Because we are talking about insecurity, the lies and deception. Now, should individuals invest in security? What are the government doing with the enormous security votes allotted annually for the security and life of the citizens. So should we just ignore that and be blaming ordinary Nigerians who has not any serious business to do with the protection of life and property of the supposed citizen, which is the primary responsibility of the government? So who should we blame? I think there should be a mobile court where the president should be summoned and prosecuted for the gross violation of the fundamental rights of the people, the right to live, because they find themselves within Nigeria.
You see, we as a people, we failed ourselves. We have failed ourselves. Our elected representatives in the House of Assembly, in the National Assembly, we have never come together to hold them responsible.
Okay, so let me read out this. Our legislators, Miss SLF said the constant lights, good roads, security of life and property, Nigerians all over the world, we come home to invest. Okay, because we have the problem. You see, it's telling you that if the enabling environment has been created by the government, those people who has gone abroad to acquire wealth and the resources and knowledge will come back and invest, of course, in their own supposed country. But what is carrying them away? There is no good roads. Somebody who have enjoyed constant light in US will not come back here be talking of off NEPA with generators. So the government also have to be blamed. Of course, take the largest share.
Well, listen, I have never exonerated the government, have I? But this is what I'm saying. The love for your country overrides whatever deficiency the nation might be suffering as of today.
If the country have you at heart, people died for their country because their country has invested in them, and cares for them, so they will do anything within their reach to defend that.
Listen, if we have,
integrity of the country.
if we have, let's say, 10 Nigerian investors who are ready to come back home, who have stayed all their lives in America, and they take a niche. They say they are coming back to invest in the electricity sector, and they declare they come back. I am telling you, nothing can stop them from not succeeding.
With the government bottleneck and
there's no bottleneck as far as you are concerned. In electricity today, there's no bottleneck. It has been open, it has been decentralized. If investors come today, and Nigerians who have had enough money, they know, and they come, they say they want to invest in railway in the Eastern Corridor or in the Southern Corridor.
Well, I have had several of them who said they wanted to invest.
Listen, when they have, forget about, if they have, no. Why do you think the Chinese can come here and invest? Why do you think other nations, if we truly have Nigerians who the love of their country is above the deficit, okay, the deficiency in Nigeria today, I am telling you, nothing can stop them. But the truth is, we don't love the country wholeheartedly. And I don't blame them. The country has failed in many ways because of our past leaders. It's a shame.
If the past leaders has failed, as I said by voice community, you are welcome to this place. And
it's a shame.
Okay, Mr. John, you are welcome. Mr. Clement, you are welcome. Yes, according to Mr. Voice community, he said, you have seen more about this country, and hopefully, he said your name is Niyi, and what do you have to say with this current government? The past government has failed, according to your submission. What is the current government doing to correct the errors of the past? Or do you keep on doing the same line, the same blame games, and crucial issues are left untouched, and disaster is looming everywhere?
That one of the few things this present government has done correctly. We shouldn't be short-sighted. I want us to be long-sighted. Is by them putting a stop to the incentive that encourage importation.
Removal of subsidy.
Removal of dollar subsidy. When the dollar is cheap, you have no reason to say you want to start producing things local. In Japan, okay, in Vietnam, your dollar parity with dollar is so expensive. But they have every reason, to purchase their domestic products. Mr. Christian, Mr. Chigozie, if today the dollar gets to 2,000 and our local innovators, our local factories start making these same clothes, and you see that they do it for us for 1,015, and the American ones, the imported ones, because there's no way the imported ones will not be cheaper. Until we are pushed to understand that we have that capacity not to import one single raw material.
Yeah, Nigerians have the. Do you remember in Kano, in Kaduna, there are textile industries, but they folded because of the eclectic nature of the power supply.
We have said that before. Listen, Kaduna now has every reason to go and look for one Nigerian investor who has gathered a lot of money to come and build a power station. You and I today, we can apply to big one. You and I, we can apply to have 1 megawatt that will power over 600 households, because that act has been passed into law. But do we have the money? No. Those foreign investors who have the money can decide to take 2 estates. They can decide to take upon 2 estates. We want to give power to these 2 estates, or this industrial area, we want to give them power supply. The government has passed that into law. Okay, but our people are not ready. Okay, look at Kaduna. I understand there's insecurity in Kaduna. If a Nigerian investor who loves this country more than whatever the agency has, mind you, there's no country that is perfect.
Of course, but can you love your country to your own detriment? Can you expect people, even within the Nigerian state, to invest when they know that their life and the property? Just for instance, most people who invested in Lagos are being asked to evacuate their regions and to other places or go back home. So there's already that sentiment and acrimony within the Nigerian state. Like Innocent, how he has to fight before he established his headquarters in Anambra State. So already there are wars, silent war going on, which hampers the rate of development. So if Nigerians in diaspora will want to invest, what is the guarantee that all these factors will not destroy, of course, their business, as most people have collapsed, their businesses have collapsed, most multinationals have left and relocated to other African countries where they have the ease of doing business. But that we don't have the opportunity.
First thing first. For our foreign investors who are maybe Nigerians who have stayed most of their life in the diaspora and who wants to come back, the question is, what are they coming back to invest upon? There are 2 critical sectors that anybody who wants to invest now should invest upon. All right, those 2 critical sections is electricity and rail, and that has been opened up. The government, the state governors, okay, and individuals that are capable have been welcome to invest in those sectors. So you as a foreign investor, you are coming to Nigeria, you say you want to come and create a factory. Why don't you invest in the electricity sector? Let me tell you, in China, as at 1994, there was an electricity act that was passed. That electricity act, which was passed, said private investors, Chinese diasporans, come and invest in the electricity.
Why? Because the government of China have been able to provide adequate security to the life and property.
The greatest that bedevils us, I'm not going to lie, the greatest challenge that bedevils us is insecurity, most especially in the north. In the south, we
not
have,
just in the south.
In the south, we still have relative peace. Let me tell you, in the southeast, Chigozie, the truth is, if we have 10 people diaspora who say they want to come and invest 10 billion in the southern states to ensure that the economic development is restored, and they are focused on railway and electricity, I am telling you, all the factories in Lagos State will run to them, and those investors will make their money. The wrong thing is, you as an investor, You are not seeing the opportunity to invest in electricity sector. If I am a diaspora and I have access to 20 billion, I would not say I want to come and erect a factory to make tires. I will not think of on investing on factory to make cars. What I know that everybody needs today is power, and that is what I'll come and invest on that. In accordance to the electric act, electricity act, I will invest in electricity. I will invest in electricity to create substations, power stations.
Thank you. Away from that, since we have digressed a little before your parting words, should we at this time hold the government responsible for the loss of incessant loss of life of the supposed citizens?
Yes,
To what extent should we hold them responsible?
we have to call our senators and House of Reps out. Our senators and House of Reps are not doing what they should do, and we elected them. Those are the voices of the people in the National Assembly and in the presidency. Until we call our senators and House of Reps out, we hold them by their nuts. We tell them that, Oga, from the southwest, I think we have about 18 senators in that National Assembly, and I think we have about maybe over 30 something House of Reps. Everything summing to over 40 to 50 representatives. Until we call them out, and we do the same thing in South South. I will tell them your duty, your constitutional duty is to call the president to order. Until we do that you need to pass a bill that will tell all the state governors to install security cameras and the likes, clear the bushes. If you don't do that, okay, if we don't do that, all we do is just lamentation. The president has to be held responsible, but we should know that the only way we can hold the president responsible wholeheartedly is to hold our senators responsible. When we hold them through their neck, they will hold the president because they are the only one that have the power to impeach the president.
Exactly. On final note, you once said that the best decision taken by this government is the removal of subsidy. But 3 months down the line, the government is now reconsidering paying subsidy, or even has paid subsidy to the tune of 1.68 trillion.
Not on dollar. I said the best
Subsidy is subsidy.
I said the best subsidy was to remove the forex subsidy, not on dollar.
So this
Not on
subsidy
fuel,
that
not
is,
on fuel. Sorry, not on fuel.
it is on fuel, on petrol.
For them to restore the subsidy on PMS, is as a result of we not having a functional refinery, and that's a shame.
I don't know. Okay,
And that's a shame.
all right.
But on the dollar, I'll be so disappointed if they peg the dollar. They shouldn't.
Whether they paid of dollar or not, the reality is that over close to 2 trillion has been earmarked or been already paid before it was even made known to the public. Would you say that this government
2
has
trillion for what?
for subsidy?
For PMS?
Yes,
Where did we get that information from?
1.68 trillion.
Where did
I
you
said
get?
close to 2 trillion.
Where did you get that information?
It was a national.
No.
It was a national dailies.
No.
About
What they have
two to
paid,
three
what they have paid
weeks.
recently for the fuel subsidy has not even gotten to 1 trillion.
1.6
In the last 3
trillion.
months,
Maybe you
no.
got to find out just of recent, not the last
No.
2 months.
It has not gotten to that. Last month, or was it last month? Last month, they paid about 160 billion for the subsidy, and if you juxtapose that, because our fuel consumption has reduced by over 30 something percent. Today, what we consume as a nation is roughly 46 million liters per day.
Well, we're not dabbling into that. What I'm saying is that even contemplating on paying subsidy at all didn't take discredit this government. I mean, the sincerity of this government in commitment to her own policies and the directions, economic directions.
Well, if the president is not paying subsidy, I will only say that is him being responsive and being attentive to the citizens. And that's my say. Because when the citizens cry, he needs to give them a little bit of attention, and I think that's fair enough.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Niyi, for your submissions here. We do appreciate your frantic submissions, of course, regardless of people's perception. Everybody has the right to express his or her opinion, and that is what we stand here as Corewave TV. So you are entitled to your opinion and should be allowed to express same, of course, and let the people know what you feel about the country and the happiness within the Nigerian state. That is the unbiased reportage of events in Nigeria and across board has been our commitment, and to this end we come. Yes, of course, what Nigeria needs is technology and investment in agriculture. Yes, you can take advantage of the enormous resources or opportunities that have been created as you reside in diaspora, of course, to create jobs for the teeming populations of the unemployed Nigerian youths, and by so doing, of course, possibly might be contributing to humanity at large. Yes, on this note, we still have one person to discuss. I want to know what is your, of course, your own view or opinions regarding the topical issues. Insecurity, the lies, the deceptions, and the sabotage. What do you think could be done to remedy this situation in Nigeria so that even residing in diaspora, when you want to come back home, you will not be afraid of being kidnapped or being hacked or being, of course, slaughtered as animals in your home country or your father's supposed fatherland. That is very important. And what should be done, of course, to hold the government accountable over the lapses that is very noticeable within the insecurity or within the Nigerian geographical space. Let's see what you think is working over there and how the government can also implicate same here to, of course, enjoy a more comfortable and serene society where you will be truly proud to identify yourself. Would you at this time support those agitators who have different opinion about the Nigerian state and how things seems not to be working in this country, and the way to chart, of course, a better way forward? Yes, on this note, we may want to wrap it up here. Thank you once again as we leave you with this, of course, questions to respond is very important. We do so, and I wish everyone here who has participated in this political rumbles here in today's morning a wonderful moment. Have a fantastic day and do have a wonderful day. Don't forget, of course, to put smile in my hearts and the faces of people as much as God grants you the grace. Remain blessed, and of course, you may want to join our YouTube channel membership. I do appreciate you so far for viewership. Remain blessed. I remain Chiga Zendebo, the host anchor.